This is the Luckeep M5 Max electric bike. My honest first impression is that it feels more like a lightweight electric motorcycle than a typical e-bike. The stance, the weight, the way it surges when I twist the throttle, everything points to speed and punchy torque. If you're coming from scooters or small motos, the transition feels natural. If you're new to high-power e-bikes, it can be a lot at first. From my experience, the motor is the headline. Luckeep calls in 1500 watts with a 2000 watt peak, and the pull backs that up. I saw an indicated 37 miles per hour on flat road with my unit, and it climbs hard from a stop. Torque is what you feel as that shove forward, and there's plenty here. The throttle has very little delay, which is exciting on open streets, but a bit touchy in tight spots. At walking speeds, the power can jump in a little hot. I had one of those mini front-end lift moments when I wasn't planning on it. I adapted by starting in a low assist level and rolling on the throttle with 2 fingers instead of a full fist. If you're brand new, give yourself a few rides to get used to the response. Key features that stood out to me are the full suspension, hydraulic disc brakes, and the battery options. The upside-down front fork and rear coil shock are set on the firmer side, which in my opinion is perfect for how fast this thing goes. Soft suspension can feel unsettled at speed. This setup stays planted. Over grass and bumpy paths, it still soaks up the hits thanks to the 20x4 fat tires. Brakes are 180mm hydraulic and they bite hard. I had no problem hauling down from 30+ miles per hour with confidence. With a 100-pound bike, strong brakes aren't a nice to have, they're mandatory. On batteries, there's some spec confusion online about 48 volts versus 52 volts. My unit came with a 20 amp hour pack and a 3 amp charger, and charge times have been around 5 to 6 hours, which lines up with the listing. Range has been solid. Riding with pedal assist at mixed speeds, I'm seeing figures that make an 80-mile claim believable if you keep things chill. Pure throttle cuts that about in half, which is normal. The big draw for me is the ability to add a second 20 amp hour battery for long trips. Just know this, the system doesn't blend the 2 packs automatically. When the first battery drains, I have to stop and swap the connector to the second. It's not complicated, but it breaks the flow of a long ride. If you expected a seamless dual-pack setup, that's not what this is. The display is bright and easy to read, and NFC unlock is genuinely convenient. I tap and go. The full twist throttle, cruise control, and simple PAS levels make day-to-day riding straightforward. If you're new, PAS just means the motor helps more as you pedal, scaled by the level you choose. I tend to leave it in PAS 2 or 3 around town and use the throttle for gaps. The drivetrain is a basic 7-speed setup. It's fine for spinning along at reasonable speeds, but once you're flying, you'll spin out. That's normal on moped-style e-bikes and not a deal breaker for me. Build quality feels robust. The frame has that forged, chunky look and the lighting package is excellent. The round headlight is bright, the rear light has active brake and turn signals, and drivers notice it. The bike is rated up to 400 pounds of load, and the chassis rides like it can handle that. I'm 5'10", and the fit is good. I tried some stretches and I think riders over about 6'3" might wish for a longer cockpit. The company's claimed height range goes all the way to 7'2", but in my opinion, that's optimistic for comfortable daily riding. There are quirks. The motor noise is louder than a lot of hub drives I've used. It's a whine you can hear above wind noise, especially at mid-speeds. Not a deal breaker for me, but I noticed it and so did a neighbor. Also, because it's heavy with 20-inch wheels, potholes demand respect. The suspension helps, but I keep my weight light on the bars when I see bad pavement. On very steep hills, I triggered thermal protection once after a long climb and hard riding. The bike reduced power to cool down. It came back quickly, but that's your signal to back off. Legal note from my experience, this speed pushes it beyond typical Class 3 e-bike limits in a lot of areas. If you use the full top speed on public roads, you may be outside e-bike rules. I keep it in lower assist or cap my speed where that matters and save the top-end runs for safe, appropriate places. Service and support matter, so I'll be straight. I had a small parts request and responses took longer than I'd like, with a bit of back and forth before I got a clear answer. Nothing catastrophic for me, but slow. Because of that, I'm treating this like a performance platform I may tweak and maintain myself. The bike actually invites that. There's room in the frame for future battery upgrades. And swapping a controller or tuning settings would likely smooth out that low-speed surge if you're comfortable wrenching. From my experience, it rides best when I treat it like a compact electric moped. It's perfect for fast commutes where I'm mixing with traffic. quick grocery runs, and weekend blasts on mixed surfaces. I wouldn't buy this if I needed to carry it upstairs or lift it onto a rack regularly. At 100 pounds, it's a ramp and roll situation. I'd also avoid it if you want something super quiet or if your riding involves a lot of delicate, slow maneuvers in tight crowds. The throttle tune can be tamed with practice, but it's not a kitten at low speeds. In my opinion, the value comes from the power, stability, and range options. The brakes and suspension match the speed, and the overall look turns heads. Key features like NFC unlock, the lighting package, and the hydraulic stoppers make it feel complete out of the box. The main trade-offs are weight, motor noise, the manual dual battery switch, and the learning curve on the throttle. I'd recommend this for riders who want a serious kick, understand basic e-bike mechanics, and don't mind doing minor tweaks or maintenance. If you rely heavily on fast, white glove support, you may get frustrated. If you like to tinker or just want a thrilling, stable ride that sits between an e-bike and a small moto, this will put a grin on your face. In conclusion, the Luckeep M5 Max delivers real speed and confidence-inspiring control, with enough range flexibility to cover long days. It's not delicate, it's not light, and it's not whisper quiet, but it is a blast, and it feels purpose-built for riders who want power with a sturdy platform to grow into. I will leave detailed information about the Luckeep M5 Max electric bike in the comments for your reference. Thank you for watching.